as you've had your own evolution, your own journey, finding your own brand, so to speak, what have you learned as a professional and personally about what your field of branding? What does branding have to teach us about discovering ourselves and expressing the authentic you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big question. In a small sense, the discovery dig, I call the discovery dig process, which I went through in developing Brandweaver originally. What that is, whether you work with a coach, whether you're sitting alone, and whatever process you use, there's so many ways you could go about it. But you might call it a meditative practice or a solo introspective practice. But to spend time questioning true meaning of life, true values, and to hone in on that, and to look at almost how you started when you were born, when you were a little boy, little girl. What were the kinds of drives and instincts and expressions and interests that you had at that young age that kept manifesting themselves over and over again in certain kinds of expressions? And if you look at that, you'll see a pathway was almost there from the beginning. It's like Plato's all knowledge you already know, you just have to uncover or rediscover it. In a real sense, branding, and I think the process is an uncovering of what's honest and authentic about you and your distinct DNA in the whole universe that makes you unique. And the more that we as human beings can tune into it, the more unique we can be in our expression, and the more contribution we're going to make into the world and the universe as a whole in really offering what our gifts are. And branding, whether it be from an individual or from an organizational sense, it's that process of uncovering the real heart of the matter and the real sense of mission and purpose you have in your life. And it can change over time and respond over time, but there's certain essence that really you'll start to see, and
patterns emerge.
You'll see patterns. So for me to look at the fact that when I was 5 and 6 years old, what I wanted to do more than anything in the world was run around in the mountains. And I didn't really care about TV. My birthday parties were hiking. So for me to then, in my early 40s, to actually reconnect to trail running, and I've always liked hiking, but to really just take it to the next level and to say, you know what, I have to be in the mountains a lot of my life, and I get something there it's like an element of nutrition, a psychic nutrition that makes me thrive in my rest of my life. Just knowing that and actually saying, wow, I was doing that when I was 6 years old, it's pretty exciting. And there's everybody can go through this process of going, you know what, there are these things that are really, yes, definitely patterns that are there to recognize. And as you do, you're creating more alignment. There's that word again.
Would you have any tips for someone who was looking back and saying, okay, I want to do this. I want to look back at my life and find that authentic me, my authentic brand. What would be, say, 3 things you would tell them, okay, go do this and start there?
Right. Well, I would say one thing is, as I said, looking into the patterns of interest, potential careers that you were thinking about doing when you were little, what you like to do when nobody's around and you're not socializing, because we do a lot of socializing, which changes the value system or influences it from what we might want to be doing on our own.
We act how we think people want us to act.
Correct. Yeah. So trying to figure out what it's like when you might say the door's closed in your room and you can do anything you want. A lot of people dance, but you might not know that. You know, a lot of people
I
sing.
remember you used to dance. You still dance?
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of stuff that's like, you know, it's closeted passion that it's there to be looked at. So certainly that would be one component. Another one would be to play some word games and see if you can, you know, find a good list of values, and see if you can pick 6 and maybe even 3 words that really are your words. And that takes some time. You can do it fairly fast, but it's fun to go in and say, you know what, I want to get married to these 3 words. These 3 words are really fit my value system. And you know, an extension of that is then to apply those words and those values into some of the work that, say, Stephen Covey and other people have been involved in with personal mission statement, personal vision statement, that kind of stuff. Of course, that's what we do in branding. It's one of the things we do in branding. And then I would say maybe a third component would actually be to see how you can execute what you're doing into the marketplace. Like what's an expression that you could place into the marketplace, even if you're completely content with your current career? Is there a way that you can integrate it in and make it real, and make it public, even, you might say? There is something really powerful about going public, and taking all of the stuff that's kind of, you know, maybe you're a closeted singer and you have all these songs and on and on. You don't have to make it a great career necessarily, but just the fact that you say, you know what, I'm going to make it public. I'm going to go to the open mic this coming week and get out there and sing a song. Like challenging yourself. Shine. Totally. So challenging yourself to write a blog article or to make a little website, something you can do to do the scary public part of the expression in the marketplace of ideas and conversation is really powerful. So it's something I need to remember, because there's always places that are on my edge where I'm stretching and I need to do more work.